Do sales feel a little bit sluggish right now? Now, if so, I hate to say it, but I'm actually not surprised. Because here's the truth that no one is saying out loud. It doesn't mean that people don't want to buy what you're selling. It means that what you're offering feels too big, feels too risky, or a little bit too uncertain for them to invest in right now. In other words, you're not the problem. That's a good thing, but your offer structure likely is. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to fix that without burning it all down and having to start over from scratch, because the answer is not just another fucking funnel. It's not a rebrand, okay? It's something called a lipstick offer. So save this episode because I reckon this is going to save you revenue. Now, let me take you back to the psychology of buyers, especially during economic downturns. Okay, there's this thing called the lipstick effect. And it's what people tend to do when the shit hits the fan. And I'm talking about the economy. The economy's shaky. It's really weird right now. See, budgets are tight, but still, they'll buy the $50 lipstick. Or another example of this is the $7 oat milk coffee, the random $45 bouquet of flowers. Why? Because it gives the customer a sense of control. It's a win when everything else around them feels like chaos. It's a small indulgence that makes them say, do you know what? I got this. Everything's okay. So what does that have to do with your B2B business? It's got everything to do with it, because right now, your high ticket offer might feel like a 10-course degustation meal and all your buyer wants is a fucking snack, okay? I see it every single day. You've got something amazing. It works. It gets results for your client. You're happy with it. You've been selling it for years. Suddenly, no one's biting anymore. And because you're a smart operator and an entrepreneur, your instinct is to actually try and fix something. You're going to rebuild the offer, or you're going to tweak the messaging, you're going to panic chase a new niche, maybe you're going to change the pricing again, maybe you're going to launch a brand new funnel or shift up the website. Well, here's the hard truth. It's not your value that is broken. It's your framing. Your offer might still be valuable. In fact, it probably is, but it doesn't feel like a win for your client right now. And if it doesn't feel like a win, it won't get a yes. So I want you to stop trying to sell the whole damn meal and start offering lipstick. See, here's what I actually want you to do. Okay, step one is create something small out of what you've got. Step two is make sure it's emotionally satisfying. Step three, make sure it's easy to say yes to. And four, ideally, it's a taste of your bigger thing. That's what I call a lipstick offer. Think, for example, a paid diagnostic, okay? A done-in-a-day intensive, because speed wins. Some sort of workshop where you're going to give them a fast turnaround on one specific pain. It's the appetizer that leads to the main course. It's not the whole solution. It's just that very first win. And here's the kicker. Your clients are already craving this. They just don't actually know how to ask you for this. So you got to guide them. Now, let me give you some real world proof of this by talking to you about one of our clients, Greg. Okay? Greg didn't launch some random new course. He didn't build an extremely big funnel. He didn't film 27 hours of video content. Do you know what he did? He pulled together a PDF. A PDF. Priced it at $300. Sold it 38 times in the first 2 weeks. That's over 11 grand in revenue. Now, his words, not mine, were this. If you told me I could sell a PDF for $300, I wouldn't have believed you. But he did. There was no team. There was no tech stack. There was no drama. In tough economic times, he turned a little bit of his knowledge into a product that he could sell, and that product turned into cash. Okay? So here's what happens when you start to productize your knowledge, which, by the way, makes the perfect first step. You generate leads, you build trust automatically, you speed up decision making, and most importantly, you scale beyond yourself. Not everything that I sell, for instance, is for money. Sometimes I trade it for attention, sometimes for data, sometimes just to start a conversation. But once your knowledge, especially in B2B, becomes a product, you're not just pitching ideas anymore. Okay? You're building assets that can run without you ever being there, that teach without you being in the room, that sell for you. That's the game we've got to play. So instead of asking yourself, do people still want what I'm selling, which is likely the big thing, and by the way, that's the wrong question to ask. Instead, ask yourself, what do my clients always need? And how can I reframe that for right now? All right? You don't need to reinvent your whole business. You just need to chunk it down, repackage it, and then give it a chance to breathe. Now, this is something that I do myself with a product I call the Demand Review Workshop. And here's the pitch. In 45 minutes, I help business owners pinpoint what's shifted in their buyer's brain, reframe their core offer without having to start over from scratch, building a lipstick version of what they already do. And that little lipstick offer, it's often the gateway to something much bigger. And that's what I sell as my lipstick offer. So let's go deeper, by the way, because all of this, the lipstick offer, the productized knowledge, the workshop model, it's really just the start of something bigger. Because I want you to start thinking this way. What if your clients could buy what was inside your head without needing you? What if your best ideas didn't live in a Google Doc or a Zoom call, but a structured, scalable asset? This isn't theory. This is what my business partner and I are actually building right now. It starts by helping experts codify their IP, turn their wisdom into branded, sellable, and scalable tools, PDFs, workshops, frameworks, assets. Then, plugging in automation and eventually AI delivery so that you can actually stop trading your time and start turning your IP into assets that make you money. Okay? Start to finally scale without sacrificing your brain or your bandwidth. If your brain is the bottleneck, well, this is how we blow the fucking lid off. Okay? Now, if this hit a nerve, good. I'm glad it was meant to, because here's your next move. Ask yourself, what's your lipstick offer? What's something that's small that's going to deliver a satisfying win that you can actually offer this week? And then I want you to go and test it. Low tech, high impact, get lots of feedback. And if you want help with this, by the way, johnnyb2b.com/demand, apply for one of our demand review workshops, and let's see if I can help you build it. No fluff, no funnels, just pure clarity. Because if you want to scale what's in your brain, if you want to sell what you already know in a way that actually works for right now, during an economic downturn, when people are completely lost confidence in how they should spend their money, what they should spend their money on, and whether or not their business is even going to survive, this is the next logical step. Bottle up your genius, create a lipstick product, see where it goes to from there. Bye.